thank you so much for being here and watching our presentation. We want to start by asking you a question. What are some of your favorite childhood games that you remember? Anyone?
Monopoly.
Still Monopoly? Anyone who didn't participate last time, do you have a favorite childhood game for us? Moncala, that's a good one. Anyone else?
Cribbage.
Cribbage?
The game of life.
The game of life. What do you remember loving about these games?
Winning.
Winning. Good one.
Competition.
Competition. Yeah, so games have so many benefits. And our project is actually
developing analog games to help youth cope with eco-anxiety. My name is Leonie Caston.
My name is Suze Figler.
And I am Charlotte Bourne. So the sponsor for our project is Eden. They are an Albanian environmental organization founded in 2004. So they're a nonprofit focused on sustainability and renewable energy and advocating and spreading awareness about the climate crisis. We're not the first group from WPI to work with them. Last year, an IQP did a project with Fuel for Climate, which is the foundational research that our project will be continuing.
So Eden represents Albania in a 5-nation consortium working on this Fuel for Climate project. They work alongside different organizations from Italy, Austria, Malta, and Estonia. And this Fuel for Climate project focuses on eco-anxiety and creating resources around it for those who suffer from it. And our project specifically, where we come in, is contributing to this Fuel for Climate project in creating a toolkit for youth to help them cope with eco-anxiety. So we have been tasked with incorporating aspects of mindfulness, self-care, hope, converting crises to opportunity, emotional processing, and friendship.
So what is eco-anxiety? So eco-anxiety is defined by the negative emotions that manifest as sadness, fear, and guilt surrounding the climate crisis. Now, these negative emotions stem from the uncertainties that come with climate threats and ecological degradation, as well as the feelings of responsibility for climate change that is impacting our world today. Now, eco-anxiety has a long-lasting impact on the youth, as this is a crucial time for finding one's sense of self and stability, as well as emotional development. It's also important to note that the youth feel that they will be the main demographic dealing with the consequences of eco-anxiety in the future. The 2024 IQP Eden Group that worked to address eco-anxiety in Albanian youth ages 18 to 25 found that most worry about eco-anxiety and can even go as far as saying that it impacts their daily life and decision making.
So currently, strategies to cope with eco-anxiety are incredibly limited. One strategy is avoidance. So that looks like pushing away feelings of eco-anxiety, which can lead to decrease environmental activism and environmental awareness. The other kind of coping is action-based. This could look like anything from going out and planting a tree to protesting policies. Action-based coping can be productive, but when actions are unsuccessful in creating change, this can lead to increased feelings of eco-anxiety.
Analog games can be used to help youth cope using social emotional learning. So play is a very important aspect of life, and certainly through research has been shown to improve mental health. And so we will be incorporating play through the use of analog games in our project. Analog games are any games that use physical objects, group interaction, or intuitive processes rather than technological aspects like video games. And we will be, because the purpose of our project is to educate youth, is not to educate youth, but to help them cope with their eco-anxiety, we will be using aspects of social emotional learning. Social emotional learning is the process of integrating cognition, emotion, and behavior into teaching and learning such that adults and children build self and social awareness skills, learn to manage their own and others' emotions and behavior, and make responsible decisions and build positive relationships. This is a definition that we found the most clear from Jonathan Crane and Christine Davis, who are both associate professors and professors at UNC Charlotte. Also, Mark Brackett is a very critical figure in social emotional learning, or SEL research. He is the department head of emotional intelligence at Yale, and he definitely has explained it for us in that social emotional learning surrounds processing your own emotions and the emotions of those around you, and really getting to the root of it, getting to be able to verbalize it for big topics such as eco-anxiety.
So our game development will be led by 3 main objectives. Objective 1 is to research and create preliminary activities to help youth cope with eco-anxiety. So to build the framework of our game development, we are going to be researching the existing analog games and activities, such as card games, board games, high exertion games, and art projects. We will pair this research with learning about the benefits of social-emotional learning and nature. We aim to create 10 very simple, basic, rudimentary games with a variety of game aspects from our research, and these will be a starting point to test the game success and engagement levels of different aspects.
So our second objective is to gather feedback on preliminary activity and games designs. First, we will do this through playtesting, so we will take those 10 preliminary games and playtest them. Then participants will take a survey about them using quantitative and qualitative questions. This will provide us with feedback on how effective the games were, and also if they have any other ideas for the games. We will then analyze these results to inform future game development.
Our third objective is to gain insight on game effectiveness and engagement methods to make recommendations for further development. So after this feedback that we've gathered from playtesting and the survey, we will redesign the games to create 3 to 5 final games, including the effective and engaging elements that were found in our pilot designs. Then these 3 to 5 games will be playtested, and there will be a focus group in smaller groups conducted about these games after they play tested them to discuss what was most effective, engaging, and their recommendations for further development. So who will be a part of this study? The participants of the study will be 15 University of Tirana, Albania students. Then they will all be the ages of 18 to 25, which is our defined scope of youth per Eden's definition. So first, once we get there, we will determine a time and location of the study. We will connect with professors and club officers from the University of Tirana to recruit participants, and they will use a sign-up form to engage and participate.
For our final deliverable, we'll be sending Eden 3 to 5 final versions. This will be for their use as well as the distribution to youth and their educators. We will hope to compile these games into a digital toolkit, and by doing this, we can organize all of our games and include their instructions, goals, objectives, and highlight any main topics that they are covered. By using a digital toolkit, it makes it much easier for Eden to translate this into different languages, as well as distribute this toolkit internationally.
So the project team will have 6 weeks in Albania to complete this project. In week 1, we will be doing the preliminary game design and recruit participants for our study. In week 2, we're going to play test and survey, and based on these survey results, in week 3, we will redesign the games. Then from there, we will play test these redesigned games using focus groups. And then week 5 and 6 will be our toolkit creation and finishing our final report. So our project is really important because eco-anxiety is a growing worldwide issue. And as the climate crisis evolves, so does this issue, and there's currently a lack of attention to it and a lack of resources. Our project will give educators the tools to address eco-anxiety in youth, which is just something that is not a tool readily available.
So while talking about our study, there are a few limitations that we want to highlight. The first one is going to be our language barrier. So now to help facilitate our focus groups and our discussions, we'll be traveling with a co-learner to help translate. Second, we'll be using university students from the University of Tirana, Albania. And because we'll only be using 15 participants, this really does narrow down our scope. And then third, our games will be talking about some stressful topics such as eco-anxiety, and now these may exacerbate these feelings. So to do this, our team has learned some compassionate learning skills as well as positive communicative skills, and in the need that we need to a medical professional, we will.
We'd like to thank you for your time, and we would like to ask if you have any questions for us.